All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Black America versus propaganda. Now, there's a certain part of us that doesn't get propaganda. Like, taking this example with Michael Brown, it's no different, okay? Let's go about how this actually happens. Young black kid gets killed by the police or, you know, some vigilante or something like that. Kid's dead. People say this is wrong. Then they make it about everything that has nothing to do with the situation. Let's do a toxicology report on a dead kid. Haven't we seen that before? Let's say the dead kid did something bad in his life. Got into a fight. Oh, so he must have had it coming. He stole something. Oh, so he must have had it coming. He smoked weed. Oh, so he must have had it coming. He failed his geometry test last week. Oh, so he must have had it coming. We've seen that before. People protest. The newscasters and reporters get up there, and there's a protest going on outside such and such and such and such area, and it didn't get violent. Oh, not this protest wasn't violent. Now think about this. Every time that most black people get together and protest something, they always say it didn't get violent. Rarely does it ever get violent. They looted. Okay. Okay. So how many protests went on around the United States where black people looted in the last 25 years? Because we protesting the same thing in the last 25 years. Really protesting the same thing in the last 100. You know, since the Emancipation Proclamation, and before that, we've been protesting the same thing. But it's all propaganda. We haven't seen this before, but now, you go past this, not violent, and then you're gonna get the but what about black on black crime? Black people kill black people all the time. Okay, well, are you saying that we need to kill other people too? Maybe black on white crime, black on Asian crime. Yeah, that black on police crime. Yeah. See, our our negativity is just so much worse than everybody else's. More propaganda, right? But somebody, they're going to get people on both sides of the spectrum to bring this stuff up. Then somebody's going to come along with well, historically, the judicial system and the legal system and police department and the government has always been against black people, so they have a reason to be suspicious. And they're gonna squash that argument. Say you're being too sensitive. That's not that's it may be factually and historically true, but no. This situation is different. And then you're gonna get black people come along with, we're gonna fight for justice for our brother who we're gonna believe in the legal system. We've been believing in the legal system since Emmett Till. Was anybody guilty with Emmett Till? Matter of fact, what was the young kid, George Stinney? The youngest person to ever be executed. He's like 13, and they waited like, what, 50, 75 years later? Say, you know what? He didn't do it. He was just a kid. And it always doesn't work out well. Some people say, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then, you know, along that whole trial process, you're going to hear, well, O.J. Simpson. If Al Sharpton talks, Al Sharpton and Tawana Brawley, the Duke lacrosse case with the stripper. Right. Okay, I hear you. I say that for these reasons. It's the same plays over and over again, like us marching, going to church and singing. Same play over and over again. See, the only thing that ever really worked from all that marching was when people was actually marching to work and not and boycotting the bus. When they was marching and doing shit that didn't cost money, but it cost other people money. That works. You know, you're gonna get um, the black panel come up and you know, one of the women are gonna say something very disrespectful about black men. Another woman will be like, "Well, your sister ain't whole." I mean, they are some of us bad, but there's some good brothers out there. Then you're gonna get a gay black man or an effeminate black man to try to toe the line of being of being on the fence. Want to bash brothers too, but I can't go all the way there. And then you might get one masculine brother out the bunch who might say something, then they cut him off and everybody speaks over him. I mean, the propaganda machine is no different from Nazi Germany. Matter of fact, to be perfectly honest, America's propaganda machine against black people probably taught Nazi Germany how to desensitize and dehumanize Jews in that area at the time. I mean, it didn't come out of the blue, you know. So, but we are, keep doing this. Yo, we gotta believe and gotta fight the good fight. And, okay, I mean, okay. And, this time somebody's gonna get. Look, a cop may get arrested. Police officer may get fired, suspended. But don't think these guys are gonna get life or the death penalty. It ain't gonna happen. Matter of fact, cop that shot Oscar Brown, he out. Get my point? Where George Zimmerman ain't even a cop. He's out. The brothers that killed Sean Bell, somewhere had a beer, at a bar having a beer. The cops that choked Eric Garner to death, somewhere with their family. The one that beat the lady on the freeway, chilling with whoever. The one that uh, messed up, that just completely just disrespected the sister that was a teacher in Arizona, going home. The ones that beat countless among numbers of people for no apparent reason and have gone too far are at home. These are the facts. You know, we talking about dead people. We talking about assaulted people. We talking about um, brutalized people to a degree. And we talking most of these things were on tape or had witnesses. And let's be real, none of these cops are going anywhere. Now the irony is this: y'all might want to read what Christopher Dorner said again, because the police department is never okay. The police officers are just a newer version of overseers. Don't you get that? Don't you get that these laws have always been this way? You don't understand what I'm saying? Understand this. The Wild Wild West was the Wild Wild West because white people wouldn't shoot other white people. Really. Of course some people got arrested. Of course some people got killed, but basically they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do. That's why it was the Wild Wild West. And don't think it was the Wild Wild West just in the West. Bullshit. It's the Wild Wild America. It was just if we did something, oh my God. And it all boils down to projection. Part of the propaganda is, we can't let them black people get out of line because when black people get out of line, they're going to. See, a lot of y'all people who watch the Planet of the Apes, like as I did a video about the symbolism on that, y'all didn't get the symbolism, did you? Can't let them monkeys take over. They're going to kill us all for all the shit that we've been doing to them. That's what's going on. The fear of rebellion, the fear of revolution, and more so, the fear of revenge, retribution. Because, God forbid, that if the black people get power, like, having quote unquote the black president who was raised by white people, so that's why, everybody has an issue, but he doesn't identify with us because he wasn't raised by us. That's a whole other story. But, when he got elected, they're going to take over. Are they going to run the country? Now, really, if we want to take over the country, we could have did it if we were united a long time ago. And we don't have to fire a single shot. Nope. All we had to do is do the one thing they tried to kill us for all these other times. Create our own businesses, lynchings, bombings, riots, murders, burning of cities and shit like that. Protect ourselves, Black Panthers, Deacons of Defense. To a degree, the fruit of Islam. Then you got an FBI surveillance and national federal laws change. People, you have the right to bear arms, but not your black ass. So it's all propaganda, and we need to understand propaganda because we keep falling for the same shit. Let me explain something to you about racism. People bring up Martin Luther King. If Martin Luther King was such a great man to white people, they wouldn't have shot him. If Malcolm X was such a great man, they wouldn't have conspired with other people to kill him. Marcus Garvey was such a great man, they would have left him alone and not try to and jail him and deport him and try to break him. If Fred Hampton was such a great man, the cops wouldn't have killed him. By the way, those cops are still free too, Huey Newton. You know what I'm saying? All the other Mumia Abu Jamal and all the other Panthers who got locked up and that kind of stuff. Medgar Evers getting killed. See, if all these people were such great people and people cared about him so much and they revere him so much in history and they are staples of American history, we don't talk about Lincoln getting assassinated, but it was because of the blacks. That's basically what you say about it, But JFK. So in 500 years, there's probably 3-4 people that white America could honestly say that, yo, that was wrong. That person got assassinated. That's white. We could say that in the last 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? We could equal that in 2 weeks. Like, it's no big deal because that's how this country works. Now, for all you people who think I'm crazy, is Clive Bundy in jail? Think about that. Because all this riots and these black people are so violent, and think about that. So, are you saying that the people that the cops were shooting at in Missouri should have been like Clive Bundy and those guys and been posted up with rifles aimed at the government? Because those people went home peacefully and ate, and they still at home peacefully and ate, and they still probably owe the government over $1 million. But they didn't treat Joe Louis that way when he was. And for some of y'all that got that boxing reference, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Other people figure that out. But see this propaganda thing, you better get in tune with this. I like the social movement with the hands up. I dig it. I mean, I'll probably be a little bit more radical and have one with guns pointed back, like, okay, you shoot us, we shooting back. But that's just my train of thought, because let's be honest, these people are not shooting and killing people, killing black people because they're scared or afraid or intimidated or, oh, they told us this. No, they're doing it because they can and they can hide behind the law and go home and eat their mashed potatoes and chicken pot pies and go sleep at night and nobody's going to knock on their door. They'll still be able to make a living. That's why. Peace.